welcome to Tracking the Week. On Monday, the federal government said no ransom was paid in the release of the abducted Kaduna school children who were rescued from their abductors on Sunday morning. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris made the disclosure while fielding questions from State House correspondents at the end of Monday's Federal Executive Council meeting held at the State House. The minister said the council deliberated on the release and commended the National Security Advisor, security agencies, the government of Kaduna State, and indeed everyone that contributed to the rescue of the school children. Mohammed directed security agencies to do more to ensure that all citizens in captivity across the country are released. He said the government is working harder to ensure that those perpetrating kidnappings are identified, arrested, and made to face the full wrath of the law. The minister also spoke on the president's 72nd birthday, saying the president has asked that anyone seeking to celebrate him should channel the same to charity, as his birthday is private and does not call for celebration, especially with the harsh economic situation in the country. Still on Monday, the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, decried the increasing rate of learning crisis in the country. Professor Tahir Mamman expressed his concern at a two-day capacity building for desk officers of Federal Ministry of Education departments, parastatals, tertiary institutions and federal government colleges on the implementation, collation, harmonization and reportage of the federal government presidential priority areas, among others, in Abuja. Correspondent Kule Ojo reports that the minister expressed relief over the release of the scores of school children abducted from Kuriga, Kaduna State 2 weeks after they were taken away in what was one of Nigeria's largest mass kidnappings in years. Speaking further, the minister said by the end of the week, the ministry will be signing a partnership contract and will be engaging ICT and regenerate data on schools in Nigeria. And on Tuesday, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria concluded a two-day meeting for March 2024. The MPC at the end of today's meeting elected to hike the MP3 by 300 basis points. This meeting marks the second MPC meeting for 2024 and also the 294th meeting of the CBN. The committee raised the MPR by 400 BPs to 24.75 from 22.75%, increased the asymmetric corridor to plus 1,000 BPs. It also retained the cash reserve ratio of deposit money banks to 45% and adjust the CRR of merchant banks from 10% to 14%. The CBN retains a liquidity ratio of 13%. And still on Tuesday, House of Representatives Committee on Land Transport says some staff of the Nigerian Railway Corporation are culpable in the vandalization of the rail tracks and assets across the country. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Blessing Onu, said the investigation was prompted by the incident regarding the movement of coaches from Maiduguri to Jos, which sparked speculations about the alleged stealing of NRC's assets across the country. She stated that Nigerians were worried about the state of assets of the NRC, especially as regards the safety of the tracks amidst incidences of vandalization of the track sleepers which were intercepted in many parts of the country. However, following the inability of the managing director to give a reasonable explanation over the vandalization, a member of the committee accused the NRC of culpability in the ongoing theft of corporation's assets. The committee thereafter adjourned to enable the corporation presented with all relevant documents on the state of its assets across the country. And on Wednesday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu awarded the 17 slain military personnel with posthumous national awards and members of the Order of the Niger and members of the Federal Republic, respectively. Lieutenant Colonel Abdullahi Ali and 3 other officials were given members. Order of the Niger, while 13 other slain soldiers were honored with officers of the Federal Republic. The President made the pronouncement at the burial ceremony of the dead officers at the National Military Cemetery in Abuja. It was a solemn event attended by the military and top government officials. The 17 soldiers were murdered in Ukoma, where they had gone on a peace mission over the communal clash between Ukwama and Ukoloba people in Ughelli local government area of Delta State. Sovereign President Tinubu once again condemned the heinous act that claimed the 17 lives, assuring the family members of the deceased and the country at large of government seriousness in smoking out the perpetrators and their supporters and make them face the law. The president also promised housing for the slain officers and scholarship to university level to their children, including the children yet unborn. And still on Wednesday, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, blamed the food insecurity being experienced in the country on side effect of some of the policies introduced by the immediate past administration. Speaking at the sideline of an event in Abuja, Kyari listed other factors such as insecurity, COVID-19, Naira redesign, banditry, which according to him had negatively impacted on the agricultural sector of the economy. The minister decried the increasing cost of food items, saying insecurity has played a major part in this regard. Kyari said the federal government will continue to work around the clock to ensure food security for the nation, while addressing the insecurity challenge frontally. Also speaking, Aliyu Abdullahi, Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, urged Nigerians to pray for the nation and its leaders during Ramadan. And on Thursday, Justice Abubakar Kutigi of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory seat in Ajabi, Abuja, on Thursday discharged a one-time Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, Mohammed Aduke San, and 6 other defendants stand on trial for alleged infractions in Malibu Oil and Gas. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had on behalf of the federal government dragged Aduke and others before the court on the controversial oil prospecting license, otherwise known as Malibu Oil Scam, before the court. Aduke, who served as AGF and Minister of Justice under the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, was dragged before the court by EFCC alongside Aliyu Abubakar, Raski Binigbe, Malibu Oil and Gas Limited, Nigeria Agip Exploration Limited, Shell Nigeria Extra Deep Limited, and Shell Nigeria Exploration Production Company Limited on an amended 40-count charge bordering on the controversial Malibu oil scam. Still on Thursday, the detained Binance executive Tigran Gambarian sued the National Security Advisor NSA Nuhu Ribadu and the Economic Financial Crimes Commission EFCC over alleged violation of his fundamental right. Gambarian, in the originating motion dated and filed March 18 by his lawyer Olujoke Aliyu from Aluko and Oyobode law firm, sought 5 reliefs before Justice Yang Ekwo. Also, Nadem Anjarwala, the Binance Africa Regional Manager, who escaped from lawful custody on March 22nd, filed a separate right enforcement suit before Justice Ekwo. Report has it that Gambarian and Anjarwala in the suit had sued the office of NSA, ONSA, and EFCC as first and second respondent. Gambarian, a U.S. citizen overseeing financial crime compliance at the crypto exchange platform, in his application sought a declaration that his detention and seizure of his international travel passports contravened Section 35, subsection 1 and 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And on Friday, President Bola Tinubu joined the Christian faithful to commemorate Easter, a significant moment and a glorious celebration of the triumph of life over death. In a statement released by the Special Advisor Media and Publicity to the President, Aduri Ngilale, the President warmly greeted Christians in Nigeria and around the world on the occasion, emphasizing love, sacrifice, and compassion as the pattern themes of this solemn season. President Tinubu noted that the sacrifice of Jesus Christ for humanity is an emphatic lesson for leaders and all Nigerians to yield to selflessness and compassion and be steadfast in the pursuit of a united, peaceful, and prosperous nation. The President strongly commended Nigerians for the sacrifice they have made in the past few months for the nation to be steered to the path of recovery and sustainable growth, assuring them that the seeds of patience which they have sown are beginning to sprout and will in no time bring forth an abundance of good fruit. Still on Friday, the traditional ruler of Ewu Kingdom to the troubled Okwama community in Ughelli South, local government area of Delta State, where 4 officers and 13 soldiers were killed have surrendered himself at the Delta Police Headquarters, Asaba. He surrendered himself a few minutes past 9 p.m. on Thursday night, hours after speaking with Galaxy News crew, expressing shock over being declared wanted. The monarch, who left his location at the dark of the night, was driven through the Okpanam Road before arriving at the police headquarters in Asaba, where he was received by the Commissioner CP Abaniwanda Olufemi. The traditional ruler has since left Asaba for Abuja after documentation on Friday morning. The Commissioner of Police, who confirmed it to our correspondent, said he was led to the Asaba airport by an Army Lieutenant Colonel en route Abuja. And that's all we have on Tracking the Week.